Chair yields back. Chair recognizes Ms. Ocasio-Cortez from New York for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Frerichs, if you had to describe your job to a layperson, how would you describe it in 1 or 2 sentences?
I'm the Chief Investment Officer. My job is to maximize returns for the state of Illinois and our beneficiaries.
And your beneficiaries are the citizens and folks who reside in the state of Illinois, correct?
To the citizens of the state, they're the participants in college savings plans and retirement savings plans and retiree pensioners.
So everyday people saving for college, saving for retirement, and who really just want to make sure they can put their dollar in a long-term investment that is stable, correct?
Most of these people put their money in and they expect not to look at the next quarter, but we look at the next quarter century.
And that's a distinction between what we see sometimes on Wall Street or in other types of short-term investment, where you really just want to look at what's going to make you money by the end of the year or in the end of a quarter, correct?
Frequently, a CEO might be motivated by a bonus trying to hit a point for the next quarterly profit report. But we want to make sure they're putting the company on a sustainable path to be profitable for the next 10 or 20 years, because that's what families saving for college and people saving for retirement care.
And in the course of your work, have you noticed that short-term profit-seeking behavior is not always consistent with long-term returns for everyday people?
Correctly. The example we used with Purdue Pharma, when they sold highly addictive drugs to Americans, they made money hand over fist. It's a great business model to sell an addictive drug to someone. But until when those people start dying off, their relatives engage in class action lawsuits that sank that company. Or you can have a railroad company that determined we can make more money by cutting staff by 30%. We can add more cars to the rail to make more money. And we don't spend time moving the cars around to distribute load. And then when that railroad has a derailment in Ohio, it costs that company real dollars. Because it costs investors, shareholders, and beneficiaries.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring that up, Mr. Frerichs, because I think what we're seeing here is that the other side of the aisle is making the argument here that we should just look at the balance sheets, the short-term returns, and the short-term investments in order to make long-term financial decisions. But the irony of that is that this committee right now and in the past has been charged with investigating companies that have abused the public by deliberately leaving critical information off those balance sheets. You've seen that in your work, haven't you, Mr. Frerichs?
We've all seen this. I heard it talk about bad data. There was bad data, there was false data that sunk Enron. This had nothing to do with ESG. You can look and find bad data anywhere. It's the job of an investor to sort through that data and to look through multiple lenses.
Right. We just lived through this with SBF and FTX. We just saw this 2 years ago. We went through a multi-installment investigation of DuPont's poisoning with respect to PFAS in water. Veterans communities that live around military bases, airports, et cetera, dealing with reproductive cancers, testicular cancers, from information that was withheld from those balance sheets. Norfolk Southern and the train derailment in East Palestine. Those communities are struggling to access information that this company is hiding because it is not necessary to put on their balance sheets. Right now, we are investigating Abbott for baby formula and the issues that were happening with infants dying in baby formula, and that too was kept off balance sheets, but also had financial impacts on the performances of those companies. They had to take that production offline. And so the argument here is that our our investment managers in different states should not take this information into account when making investment decisions for the public. Mr. Frerichs, can you really do your job if you're just looking at short-term returns, if your job is for the long-term financial health of people saving for college and retirement?
No, as a fiduciary for families saving for college, for people saving for their retirement, they don't really care so much if a company is profitable next quarter. They care if it is profitable for the next 10, 20 years or quarter century.
And so when we talk about where this push is coming from, why now? Why is this happening?
Listen, this is happening because the nature of value in companies has changed. We still do traditional financial analysis, but we layer on another level of analysis to deal with these risks, and they are material. They may deal with human capital, they may deal with workers, they may deal with the environment, but they have real-world consequences on the bottom line of these corporations, and if we don't have access to that information, it's like investing with a blindfold on.
Thank you very much, and I yield back.
Hey, before you click on the next video, if y'all could do me a big favor and hit that like button. The algorithm loves it, and so do I, because it helps promote these videos and get the message out about what our government has been doing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because every time I put out a video, you want to know about it, right? Thanks again, and have a good one. See you on the next one. Peace.